Hello, and welcome to another fabulous episode of Pieces That Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I paint the pieces. You watch me paint the pieces. Some of you hire me to paint the pieces, and you watch, all that sort of stuff. It is a bright, like way bright. Oof, that's better. It's a super bright Thursday here in fabulous Oklahoma City, where I dwell. Yeah, we're gonna paint some stuff. We're gonna work on our Serosh today. Serosh. I don't know how you say it. It's flipping huge. Thing's just massive. Hello, buddy. So we're gonna be working on him to go with the rest of our Godfrey. She is over here. So big, such a great big model. So we'll be working on these guys today, trying to get him to where we can put him on the model and do the thing. So yeah, without a whole lot more talking, we're gonna get right into this. I'm gonna play some music. We're looking, let's see, it is White Bat Audio today. I play a lot of their stuff. Gentleman named I think Carl, if I remember right, is the name of the guy who does it, and he's really cool. He does a great stuff, and it's royalty free, so we get to use it. I don't have to pay any money. I just like to shout people out. I'm getting better about doing those things too, about saying, hey, these people providing music for free on the internet if you need that sort of stuff, because I'm not the only YouTuber out there. I don't know if I consider myself like a YouTuber, honestly. More like a vlogger. I just use the YouTube thing because it's what my friends told me I should do. I don't know. I'm a little bit older, so it's like getting into this stuff is a little interesting. Well, I mean, it shouldn't be. I'm not that old, but I spend most of my time in a kitchen, so I don't know about that. Anyway, before I forget, we are going to we're almost there, 250, and we'll start painting this old giant. He's a pretty cool old dude right there. Hey, hello, Sir McBeardsley. Good to see you again. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it and start messing around. I'm gonna close all the Steve-O vision down and go to the paint camera, which is like way up high. We were viewing things at the end of last episode. We're gonna come on down. So there's a few little spots maybe that need a little bit of attention here. I was kind of working a little bit on it before the show, so I've got some of that raw umber and Payne's gray mixed up. Now remember, this is all our shadows, so this is going to be deep down in there. We're really trying to just make sure any of the places where it needs to be dark, it's going to be dark. Because when we come over the top of this with all of that other, all the other colors, we want that bottom part to stay the absolute darkest. Right there in the cracks and such. We're also going to get over onto the arm, that other arm today, and get it done. We are getting pretty close to being able to just start rocking all Serosh here out. It'll be pretty fast. There's a lot of this stuff, this sort of setting up. We're trying to get the things set properly. It does take a little while, but if you do all these little steps and make sure it's all correct, then your final product is way better. And that goes for everything. It's not just, painting and stuff like that. If you want to be better at cooking, if you want to be better at sewing, if you want to be better at woodworking, it's all kind of the same kind of thing. It's the little things in the beginning that always pay out the most. What time is it where you live? Oh, it is 10:05 in the morning. So AM. How about you, my friend? And welcome to the show, by the way. Nice to have you. Always glad to have people over and saying hello and all that stuff. It definitely makes the painting go by faster. That's right, proper lions. That's a right proper lion's head. It is, isn't it, brother? That thing's, he's massive. It's so big. Right now I'm trying to get all these little gaps done. It's like 5 p.m. where I live. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. So that would be, what is that? Asian area? Euro-Asia? Let's see. My math's a little, my time math is a little weird. Australia, I think, area, you know. If I'm thinking right. Australia, China, Japan, Philippines. That's pretty cool. I love that. I love the internationalness of this sort of stuff. Art's so, it's so able to be international that you can, like, you get viewers from everywhere. Sir McBeardsley says, I may be biased because of my culinary background, but I think everyone should know how to cook in a very basic sense. Well, I mean, yeah, everyone should definitely know how to cook stuff. It is, though, dying art. Like, not everybody is taught how to cook. But I think you're right. I think it is a Japanese name. Hakari. Hakari? I think I'm saying that right. Hakari? It doesn't mind. Hey, sweet. We're getting it right. We try to be a little bit cultured out here. Yeah, I am in a place called Oklahoma. It is smack dab in the middle of the United States. Us in Kansas. We're right above Texas, and Kansas is right above us. And then I know we have viewers from all over, which I think is really neat. So I really appreciate you coming by, and especially saying hi, because like I said, it gives us somebody to talk to and something to say. We've got a few regulars around here that, you know, fill the air a lot of the time, but it's always nice to have new folks talking. Try to get that little bit there. Now that's one of the ones we added. And now with it added and painted in, you can hardly tell. One of my favorite metal bands, this is Mick Beardsley talking. One of my favorite metal albums is called Gary by Ocean's 8 Alaska. And they have some Japanese influence on the album. That's how I know. Oh, cool. Well, I thought it might have been watching old samurai films. An anime. I said I recognized the name, the word, but I knew it was Japanese, but what part of the language I couldn't tell you. So that's pretty cool that you had that, Mr. Beardsley. It's a very neat name. I am big on anime. Yeah, I love a lot of different animes. They're fun. Huge fan. If you've ever seen Speed Grapher, that is a wild ride. So is Berserk. If you see any of the Berserk stuff, it's pretty crazy. Here I'm dating myself though. I'm a pretty old guy. And then, like, one of my favorite ever movies is a movie called Perfect Blue. It's a very strange anime. It's kind of like a Hitchcock suspense thriller kind of thing. really shows off the range that you can have in an animated movie, and I really think it's pretty neat. Okay, I'll make sure we get all the way down in here. I read Berserk. It's a very good manga. Yeah, I've only been able to get my hands on a few of the parts to it as a manga, but what I've been able to see has been really cool. Of course, that was years and years ago. Okay, I think we're getting pretty close. Some of these things are just way hard to get to. Which again, if you had an airbrush, you could do this stuff with an airbrush. Might be a little bit faster. But like I was talking about yesterday, I'm okay with an airbrush. Like I can do a lot of basic airbrush stuff. It's not that difficult. Maintaining an airbrush is a pain in the butt. And doing them on the live show makes a lot of noise. So it's hard to talk over it. And not everybody owns one or has the space for one. A couple of my friends that live in Europe, they do not have a room in their apartment for like airbrushes and stuff, because it does take up a little bit of room. Like they don't even have room for like a workbench or anything like that. Mr. Beardsley says, I've seen that Berserk is one of the hardest manga to get your hands on because it's so freaking popular. They sell so quickly. Yeah, it is here in the States. You can't hardly get it, at least in Oklahoma. There's not a huge, well, for a long time, there's more traction for it now, but for a long time there wasn't hardly anybody here that was into it. And then over the last, several decades, it's gotten a lot more popular. And you're actually starting to get to where you can go to the comic stores and they'll have a stock of manga instead of, special orders or just a few little smatterings of what you could barely find. So, they're starting to stock it. It's good. I mean, it's always great. It's nice to have culture. I love different cultures. We're actually going to, and different types of art and stuff. We're going to go see an opera here in a couple of weeks. Because I love opera. And it'll be fun. It's an Italian guy wrote it. And it's about like a murder and a love affair in Scotland or something like that. And so it would be interesting to see what an Italian thinks Scottish people are like when they're murdering and loving each other. And then have it done in song. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, with your dry brushes, always kind of make sure you move your bristles around a little bit. And Beardsley again. I feel like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring play a big factor on why Berserk has gotten more popular in the West. Because Miyazaki has said he takes great inspiration from Berserk. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's 2 rounds of the Berserk kind of go, because like there was a move of it for a while at first when Final Fantasy VII came out, because Cloud in Final Fantasy VII, and we're talking about original Final Fantasy VII all the way back in the day, So when that came out, there was we first started kind of hearing about Berserk and stuff. That's when I first started hearing about it, and that was back when I was like getting out of high school. So, and then it's had like a rebirth, because it's older. I can't remember how old Berserk is, but it's older. It's been around for a while. Okay, here we're just taking our dry brush and we're just very gently coming in and pulling out those hairs. We want to leave. That's probably need a way to get up there. We want to leave the back of it a little bit darker. Don't get in your crevices and things like that. And remember, this is going to fade down. So if you feel like you got a little too much color on it, you're probably going to be okay. Just give it some time. Be patient. Come back here. Come back in a bit and check it. If you're really worried about it, you can always, you know, rinse it off and start again. But we're trying to kind of create a shadow effect. All his hair should be white in our mind, but it's not going to be that way in reality. Because there's a bunch of different colors, and that's kind of why we started off with a little bit of a yellow. I just kind of keep bringing that up too. Don't be afraid of it. It's okay. It'd be fun to take a look at like where all the influences of Berserk are in culture nowadays, because like it was very, when it came out, it was super popular like in Japan, and then it got super popular here, and like everybody kind of knows Guts and the Sword. If you're into anime at all, you probably know Guts. You probably know a little bit about Berserk. Berserk's influence is infinite. It kind of is. Like there's a lot going on there, and not just on like the Guts character, but like Griffith. That character's got a lot. There's a lot of characters that were built very similar to him afterwards. You know, as far as antagonist or protagonist turned to antagonist, or antagonist turned protagonist turned to antagonist, however you want to kind of look at it. He's a very interesting deal, and it's got an the whole thing's got an interesting morality to it, and yeah, it's what you want from a really good story, honestly. That's probably why it's been so enduring. Oh man, there's a lot of hair in there. Alright. I think we can risk going almost straight Naples for just one coat. dry brush coats are a little bit different than like regular paintbrushes, and especially if you're doing it right. And I almost feel like we need to make this mane a little bit more yellow than his face. But not much. We're going to want to put some white over top of this. But you kind of have to work this color up, especially on a dry brush. Stabbing me in my fingers back there. Just be careful and take your time. Don't get in a rush. Keep your brush dry. That's all you gotta do. You just be right through this stuff. Make sure you're taking a look at it too from all the angles. You don't want to miss anything that would be glaring obvious. Yeah, that's looking great. Sketching right now, and any idea of what to sketch next? Do you have an idea? Well, what kind of things do you typically sketch? Like, are you a landscaper? Do you do portraits? Do you like to do still lifes? Are you a creature designer? Cartoonist. I sketch animals and other creatures. Okay. Well. Hello, Rasmus. How are you today? Let's see. I would say it's summertime, so I would do some birds. Maybe a hatchlings or some sea turtles. Good, thank you. Oh, there you go. All right. Well, I'm glad I nailed that out. Summer always makes me think of things like birds and turtles and frogs and lizards. Especially some lizards and birds. Lots of birds. You go outside right now around here and all you hear is birds talking. Rasmus says, pretty good. This time I should be able to watch for 20-30 minutes. before I have to go on vacation. I can't really sit down and watch your entire stream chat. Like, hey man, no worries. I appreciate you coming by for what you can. I'm glad you're on vacation. Enjoy that. That's exactly what you should be doing. I'm still going to be painting when you get done, I promise. I mean, maybe not this guy. We might be on to Ronnie. Or if we get real lucky, we'll be on to painting that giant pretty quick. I don't know. We might do Ronnie, then the giant. It just depends on when we hit that 250. We're dang close. We picked up another subscriber yesterday. So for whomever that was, thank you if you're watching again. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all our subscribers. You guys are amazing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, and you feel like, you kind of dig our vibe, then come on by and hit that bell and hang out with us as often as you like. We like to keep it pretty chill. Unless I'm ranting. Occasionally I will rant. The Elden Ring Giant or one form of... Okay, hold on. The Elden Ring Giant or one form of another... Oh, from another franchise. I understand what you mean now. Yeah. I need to clean this guy out a little bit. Anyway. It's a Warhammer piece. This is a... Oh, gosh. 84, 85, I think. I have to look it back up. But he's got a great big old club. And he's got a couple other pieces that are around here somewhere I'll have to track down. He's got like a tree limb he grabbed for a club. But, yeah, he's super old. And it'd be fun to get him painted up. I've had him for a long time. And we're going to paint that guy. And if I can get it looking well enough, I might try to enter it in a competition called Golden Demon, which is a Warhammer modeling competition, well, painting competition. Both, I suppose. I've never entered a model competition or model painting or model building competition. All my art competitions have always been like regular paintings or pastels or sculptures and stuff. So, but since we're moving into doing more of these models that we're painting for other people for money instead of being a chef, I feel like we could get if we can get a couple of competitions under our belt, learn some stuff about what the judges think need to be improved on, because you'd be surprised at like when the judges start giving you advice. If you can just swallow your pride and listen, you will learn like a ton about what you can do to be better. Some people have a hard time swallowing that pride, and they don't learn anything from the experience. Carrie says, I just found this scramble just right. I really like the vibe, and I don't have to make art alone. Agreed. That's kind of what I like about the idea of live work, is we kind of have people to chat with. So yeah, awesome. Thanks for the subscribe. I really appreciate it. Now we only need 5 more. I think. No, 25 more. No, 30 more. God, my math is bad today. Let's see. Rasmus says, I hope the giant is fun. Are you going to continue the Elden Ring minis after that? You're really good at bringing to life the wonderful bosses that kicked my ass when I was playing the game myself. I have a client, actually, who I do all this Elden Ring stuff for. Really great guy. And we're going to keep going until he's done. So whenever he's decided he's had enough of them, we'll be painting whatever gets brought in the studio is typically what gets painted. So like if I get somebody who's orders an army or something like that, then that's if they want it painted on the program, then that's what we paint. Now if it's left to me and my own devices, there's no telling what I'll want to paint. So sometimes I paint stuff for like my kids or my wife or whatever, friends, things like that. And occasionally we'll do those sort of things. If he requests multiple Elden Ring menus, he's 100% a great guy. Yeah. This is, what is this? We did Radagon, we did Malekith, we did Melania, we've got Godfrey and Serosh here, and then I have Ronnie to do next. So there's for sure at least one more Elden Ring piece to come. And then after that, I don't know what he's going to want to do. Or if he's done. We'll find out when we get there. I'm not necessarily worried about it, so. I have another thing I have to work on that's it's a repair to a statue that was broken. It's not my statue. It's just a pretty basic Mary cast. It's religious iconography, Virgin Mary kind of thing, which is it's a neat piece, and it'll be fun to fix it. And it's way too big to do on the show, so it will be done. But I mean, I think I might do like some videos of it and do some shorts of how we fix it, or something like that. Because I do a lot of that. I do repairs. I repair toys. And repaint them, and I do all sorts of stuff. I'm retired, so like I don't really have much else to do except for run my kids around and garden and paint this stuff. So it's great. Rasmus says, by the way, what sort of mini do you prefer painting? Humanoids, beasts, or something else? I like it to change, honestly. I don't like painting the same things over and over again. It's I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to say for me, I guess, or weird thing to say, I guess, as an answer. But I like it to be. I like it to be different. Golly, I'm knocking everything over. Person across the street is mowing their yard, and their mower is very loud. I live kind of out in the country, so like we have those big mowers out here, and they make a lot of noise. And it always sounds like they're in my yard, and I'm like, is that the lawn guy? He's not supposed to be here today. Because they don't let me mow because I get sick. I have a lung and throat condition that I can't control my coughing. It sucks. Servant Beardsley says, true chef mentality, always play with change. Rasmus always said variety is the spice of life. Yes. Variety is definitely the spice of life. And that's kind of, it's like I like to keep it different. I enjoy painting for other people. I really am starting to enjoy doing this, running a studio kind of thing. As a chef, I really liked serving people. When they came in, like that was the fun part about it, is to have customers that enjoyed what we were doing and really liked to eat the food and talk about it. And that stuff was always the best. So I love doing art projects for other folks, just because sharing that little bit of talent. Not everybody's able to do these sort of things, and not everybody can afford really crazy expensive art from an art gallery. So it's kind of nice to be a for hire kind of guy. Esma says, once you get good enough at something, it sure is fun to share it with others. I agree with that 100%. That's exactly how it should be. Unfortunately, not everybody's always that way, but don't take kindly to people who want to harsh people's gigs, man. Like it's super easy to be a critic, you know. You know, I feel like it's almost harder to just sit back and enjoy. Part of kind of what's wrong with a little bit of some of our culture today is people are too busy picking stuff apart instead of trying to sit back and just kind of enjoy it. Or, you know, maybe something's just not for you, you know. Maybe that thing isn't that you thought you were into, you're not actually that into it. There's nothing wrong with that. So, but I think people have a hard time coming to that terms with that, where, you know, not everything in the world is about them, and, you know, not every program on TV is targeted to them. I just had to put some white on it. I had to. I wanted to see what it was gonna. I needed to see it. I needed to see it with my eyeballs to make myself feel better. Oh yeah, he's gonna look so great. Rasmus says, currently learning baking, and it's very fun. Baking stuff for relatives. One day I want to be the guy that can bake a nice cake whenever somebody needs it. Heck yeah, man. Well, you know, I taught a lot of baking. I know if you ever have any questions about baking stuff, holler. My wife's actually a pastry chef. She runs well, now she's in a different kind of business, but it's kind of still cooking. They make candies and stuff, candies and chocolates now, which is cool. But she can bake. She can bake anything. She's better at it than I am. My servant Beardsley says, but my mom said I'm special. That's the yeah. Yeah, everybody's mom says they're special. Guys, that's so funny. And Rasmus is laughing as well. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Golly. Oh, he looks good. He's gonna look so primo. That blue underneath was definitely the way to go. Rasmus says, so you paint minis and she bakes. Sounds like a dream come true. Good for you, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I miss the chef life a lot of the time. But, you know, being able to just kind of chill out and paint really helps kind of take that off. Take it down, I should say. Take the antsiness about it down. I do miss it though. I miss chef life. I was did Gourmet and Charcuterie, which was yeah, like big buffet work, you know, for, you know, stuff like in Vegas or cruise ships and that sort of thing. And I liked making. I was a sausage maker and hams and stuff like that. I also did a lot of ice sculpting and fruit and vegetable carving, that sort of stuff. That's where a lot of my awards come from, sculpting in other mediums, food mediums. Sir McBeardsley said Gourmet was my favorite subject. Yeah, we had a lot of fun in that class. And for those of you who don't know, Sir McBeardsley was a former student of mine when I was a chef instructor when I was teaching culinary school in college level stuff. It was fun. We had we did a lot of cool stuff in that class, and it was full of sculptures. Or, well, it was for a little while. They made us take all that down. Rasmus says, maybe it's just on my phone, but the best I can get is 720, which kind of sucks. Prevent you from truly brief. Yeah, that actually might be my system. I don't have a. I'm still upgrading cameras and computer systems and stuff like that to get up to it. I think it only running in 720 because my poor computer can't handle it. I'm really gonna try to. I'm gonna as we keep going down this road, we're gonna try and get. We're trying to get some better equipment in here and you know, upgrade things. I can get it better if I don't do it live. If I just film them and don't do it live, it I think I can get a higher quality, but I didn't honestly know if this was going to take off or not. Like I originally kind of just started it as a, well, it was a kind of a thing for my kids to be able to look back on because we all thought I was going to die. This condition I have was pretty scary. It's pretty scary. Although it actually isn't anything, as long as I don't like hit my head on something or I'm not driving down the road when I have an attack. Because like that could kill me. I could run into something or somebody, and not just me, other people, which makes me I don't like driving as much as I used to anymore. I try to be super careful, and I pull over sometimes because I'm coughing and I'm like, man, I'm gonna pull over because I do not want to be the guy that passed out and killed somebody in traffic. Ridiculous. I'm sure I'll look really weird pulling over on the side of the road, but whatever. Oh, I see. Rasmus says, I never knew that. The lore thickens. McBeardsley says, yeah, Pat taught me a couple subjects, including Garmager. I assess him with a few good things while I was attending. Yeah, we, yeah, it was a good time. I tried to be a teacher that was impactful. When I'm in kitchens, though, I don't have a whole lot of time for tomfoolery, so I'm very gruff in kitchens, which is kind of how you're supposed to be. But sometimes students would get very intimidated by me, and they didn't like it until they get in there and they realize that when you're in there with me, my time is your time because you're in my class. And the reason that you probably got dismissed from me earlier is you weren't in my class and you're wasting the people's time who are in my class. So I don't really have time for you. Which is, you know, it's not always the friendliest way to behave, but I was very severe in those days. I'm much more laid back now. Let's see, Rasmus says, I never really painted. Why did you paint the main black first? I really like learning about the technique used. Okay, so it's not actually black. It just looks black because it's very, very dark gray blue. It's a color called Payne's Gray, and I mixed it with raw umber. Up here at the top, you can see the brown, and then this color here that's kind of the blackish. When we mixed them together, we changed the nature of the blue, and you can kind of see that the blue as it comes through here. You can kind of see how it's a little bit more blue. Now, the reason we put that dark color underneath was to simulate the shadows, because you know when you look at the mane of a lion or the fur on a bear or whatever it is, there's shadow in between the furs. Now, we could have done this with a wash, but we probably would have had to come back across the top of it anyway to get it to look dry like hair. So instead of doing a wash, I just went really dark with my base color and came up. Now, the reason I chose the bluish black versus like a brown or like a reddish brown or something like that is because of the white of the lion. When you look at white tigers and white lions, and polar bears and such like that, a lot of times underneath the hair looks more bluish or dark or like gray or blackish, versus like a brown that you would see on, say, a grizzly or like a California golden bear or a full-on normal lion, which is going to be a little bit more brown black. So Hikari says, I also have some medical problems and often have to stay at home. That's the reason I became an artist. So I also wanted to become a chef, but well, I can't really. Yeah. Chef definitely takes a lot out on your body, and you got to be in it every single day. So you definitely made the right choice. Chef life is rough. Rasmus says, "Oh, that makes sense. It looks really good." Yeah, it definitely, and you can see it kind of on this arm when all this is together. Kind of start seeing how that's gonna translate into the white lion look, and that's kind of what we wanted. And then, like here on this, we pulled the strokes so we across things so that you can see the muscle texture, but it also looks like fur, because this is, we have another one that I have to do, which I was supposed to be doing today, but I got so broke off in the main and talking. So it starts out looking like this, and then we'll add those brush strokes over it, and it'll come out looking like this other one. And that's the idea. And of course, this one goes over here, but anyway. And it's a layering technique, but you don't want it to get glossy. So we don't want it, because if it's get glossy, then it's not gonna look right. We want it to look dry, so that's why we went with the dry brushing over the top of all of it. And really, it really is gonna help all of our parts stand out. And you can see how it really gets that separation of those hairs. And we go with the yellow over the top of it so that we have that slightly yellowness, or the yellow first and then white over the top of the Payne's gray. Because you want that slight bit of yellow. Still too wet. Whenever I rinse out that dry brushes, it takes a while to get them dry enough to actually paint with. And you can easily make that mistake. That's a kind of like a classic dry brushing mistake. Not having your dry brush dry enough. And you can do that by putting too much paint on it as well. We're just trying to catch the very tip tops. I guess old dry brush about ready for cleaning too. Starting to collect some hairs and stuff. Let's see. Rasmus says, I know you haven't played the game, but Godfrey is probably my favorite boss in the game. He's a very fun to fight. He's difficult but fair, and you can do a bunch of cool stuff like jumping over certain attacks. It's very fun to watch you paint. Oh, fun, cool, that's neat. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you got to check it out. Yeah, I heard he tells the lion to chill out, and then he like drops his axe and starts suplexing you with like way more power than the axe had, and I found that pretty amusing. I've watched this scene about several dozen times by now, so it's pretty cool. And I've learned a little bit of the lore. There's a lot of lore. So like I haven't learned everything about it, but I know a little bit. I know enough to be dangerous, and enough to kind of like carry on a half-assed conversation about it, I suppose. Just through that Naples Yellow. Boom, 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 boom. And it does take a little while to do this, and it definitely could be done a whole lot faster with, like I said, an airbrush, and you could still get that dry effect. It would all work out fine with an airbrush, but I kind of enjoy getting in there with the model and doing things old school a little bit. But there are some places, especially on these 3D printed models, that it's like it's almost made for airbrushing, and you're like, ugh. These hairs are definitely on that line where I might have to pull out some tricks. Right in there is pretty tangly. We need at least some color on it, so we gotta make sure they've got that. So we can't get that. We're gonna have to change a brush. I'll have to get out one of those old nappies. I'd like to thank White Bat Audio again for music today. Kind of fun to be back on our little bit of trappy kind of music. Although I did love the breakout. We had a little Raj going on yesterday, little Rajas going on yesterday, which is fun. Love the Indian music. To find some other things to kind of chill out and listen to. I like all sorts of music, so you know, making a difference to me. Guess we could just play classical music. I think you don't have to have the rights for most of that stuff because it's so old. You know, Mozart and all that stuff. I suppose it depends on who recorded it. I have to look that up. See what the law is. Oh yeah, he's looking so sweet. Heck yeah. Time flies when you're painting Maine. Rasmus says, does this Godfrey mini come with the ability to suplex? No. It is definitely what they call monoposing, which means he's only one pose. I wonder if there is one where there's a picture of him doing his one of his moves or something. You know, they have tons of these sculptures online. This is the one that my client picked. And I think he picked a really good one. It's really cool, really cool sculpture. But there are several more of them. And I'm actually gonna buy. I'm gonna buy the STL for this because we got to print off another hand. Yeah, it'd be cool to see some of the other ones. Maybe pull out some more of them. I find it interesting that because you're not the first person that told me I'm pretty good at pulling these particular FromSoft people to life. I wonder if there's a market for selling more of it. So I think I'm gonna print off a few of these models and paint them up and see if anybody's interested in buying one. I'll have to look at the what I gotta pay to do that, because I'm sure there's some sort of fee associated with selling prints of the model. There always is. Serosh McSpiritly says, here at Pieces Pat Paints, we do not recommend replicating in-game abilities, including suplexing your figurines. Yes, they are brittle. They will break. That's good. Yeah, no, I do not condone suplexing any models of any sort ever. But definitely not these 3D print ones. They 100% will break. Matter of fact, it might break just because you said the word suplex around it. Especially that Malekith. Oh, God. And I think Melania, I think I broke Melania's leg while I was in the middle of making it. I was trying to put it together. And I snapped her leg. I was like, ah! Like live on air. It's the best. It's one of the things I love the most about the live, is that like if we screw up, it's like live screw up. And there you cannot write that sort of stuff. It's so good. And then it's like a run to figure out how to fix it. I usually know how, so it's not that big a deal. But it makes for exciting, I guess what do you say, exciting television. I guess we still say that, right? We say that. It does make for exciting television. So in this first coat of yellow, I'm trying to get all of it, except for the very, very deepest cracks. So it's okay if we're kind of smudging into these smaller cracks, because we're going to come back with that white. Oh gosh, here we go. Rasmus replying to Nick Beardsley. I read that in one of those super fast voices that play at the end of commercials. Oh my god, that's funny. Gary says, you can't do art without mistakes. No, you can't. You really can't. But you know, you watch people on YouTube or some tutorial videos, it makes it seem like everything they do is perfect all the time, and that's what I love the live, is that you get to see the mistakes and how to fix it. You can't, a lot of times people are afraid to show you their mistakes because they're afraid to be judged, or there's a million reasons why people might do it, but I feel like if you're a teacher, it's better to show mistakes. You can teach more about things from a mistake than you can from a win. And I think sometimes we forget that. And like historically, we forget this. This isn't like a now thing. This is a humanity thing. We just kind of forget sometimes that you need to remember the losses as much as you remember the victories, because when you forget the losses, then you don't learn from them. We get so caught up trying to be a perfect image of something on social media or whatever. I think sometimes we forget to be with humans. Here I go ranting again. Say. But Gridley says, I feel your pain. I'm also on the phone. It also says, we don't make mistakes, we make happy accidents, from Bob Ross. So, Rasmus says, I was going to quote that. Damn you. Here, I got Bobby. He's over here. Say hi, Bobby. Yeah. Little Bobby Hug Bobby. He used to say stuff, but I think his battery is dead. And I don't replace those sort of things. Let's see. Rasmus says, I love watching Pieces Pat paints on a 3D model Magic Lion from a video game while musing on the natures of our modern society. Yeah, I do that. I don't know, I'm always rapid philosophical. I used to do it while I was cooking too. You know what? We're going to run till this music runs out. I don't know when that's going to be, but we're going to run. We're already past our normal hour, which is awesome. I think that's cool when we make it, and I don't even notice. It means we're having a good show. Put a little bit more of this guy out. But yeah, it's a crazy world out there. That's why I think I like about my little corner of the internet. It's just a place for us to slow down and listen to some tunes, paint magical mystery lions, and talk about whatever suits us. No matter what. Talk a little art, talk a little philosophy. Talk about our hunger for the blood of the bourgeoisie. No, we're not going to do that. You gotta be careful with that stuff nowadays. You might actually get in trouble, even if you're joking. You gotta be careful. I'm too old for any of that, I honestly. But I kind of feel like if you're disagreeing with the youth about how they feel, you're probably in the wrong. Rasmus says, honestly, you're my favorite YouTuber at this point. Chill, paint miniatures from your favorite video game, talk about whatever. Yeah, exactly. Sir McBeardsley says, Rasmus, you missed yesterday's rants on traffic. Oh, man. Yeah, I went off on traffic yesterday. Traffic around here is insane. They were at it again this morning at 6:30 in the morning. Acting crazy. Like you've got somewhere to go at 6:30 a.m. in Oklahoma City. You don't have anywhere to go that's that important. You can get me started again. Today's rant, I'll tell you what I'm really kind of off about today. So I keep seeing this same post about, and this is gonna sound callous, and I'm definitely not trying to be, but it's the same post about this person who has been possibly missing, right? But there's no the poster that's posted, the original, is some sort of buy and trade Lawton, Oklahoma. You're buying and trading stuff in the city of Lawton, right? That's the page that posted the original post, and you're like, okay, well, this seems suspect at first already. Why are you posting it? But maybe they're just trying to be good Samaritans, right? Maybe that's what it is. So I'm like, okay, well, we're going to give you a little bit more of a chance. We're going to take a little bit of a deeper look here, and I take a little bit deeper look, right? And I'm like, okay, why isn't there a phone number or any kind of contact information listed in this post? There's no police department. There's the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigations isn't linked on this post, or their contact information isn't in there. The local police department's information isn't there. There's nothing there. And people are posting it all over the place, and you're like, wait a minute. I don't think this is real. And then come to find out this morning, it wasn't real. It was just some person posting it to get people to pay attention to their buy and sell Lawton page. And you're like, oh, for the love of Lord have mercy. Whatever Bishnu, I don't care what religion you follow, what God you pray to, or if it's just for the love of Mike and mercy itself. I don't care. That is cruel, it is unusual, and it is weird. And what makes me the most irritated is the amount of people that shared it. The amount of people that shared this junk to begin with. It's just like, did you not read? Did you not look at it? Did you not pay any attention at all to what it was? You didn't pay any attention? Pay any attention? Rasmus says, what? That's disgusting. Somebody should actually be missing or worse. Right, well, and that's the thing is you track it all the way down, and it's crap, and people are doing this just to get attention. Or like I saw this lady the other day trying to get sympathy to say she had been banned from some social media or something, and she had posted this. It was obviously it was made up on Photoshop or something, because it didn't look like the kind of corporate email you would get from TikTok or YouTube or whatever. Because I've seen these things. I'm trying to create a channel. You know, I know what these things look like. And so, like, you look at these things and you're like, what? Did you make this up? And yeah, they definitely made it up. Let's see. Carrie says, I finished my sketch. I decided to draw a collared parakeet sitting on a branch with a turtle on a rock nearby. That's awesome. I love it. If you want to share it, send it to me on Pieces Pat Paints on Facebook. I will post it to my feed and say somebody sketched this while we were painting, and I'll give you all your credits and all that stuff, because I don't take credit for other people's stuff. But if you want to get it shared for everybody who watches to see, I'll be happy to post that there and here on YouTube. I love sharing other people's art as much as I like sharing my own. I think that's the best part about art, is where like I appreciate my art. I think I think it's decent. I don't think it's the greatest thing in the world. But like the art I like to look at in the art that I purchase isn't anything like mine. Rasmus says wonderful, and he's replying to Hikari. And then Rasmus says, I wish it was possible to subscribe to a channel twice. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's so nuts. I love kind of slowing down and looking at things that people don't often look at. And that's usually where I catch these strange, odd things like that, where I'm like, wait a minute, something's wrong here. And I dig further, and it's always some nefarious like thing to make money. It's never, especially on Facebook. It's always some nefarious plan to make money. And you're like, you know what? If y'all spent half as much time trying to make money the real way, you'd probably be a lot richer than you are now, and you'd have less authorities after you. Yeah, people wanted by Interpol or something, you know. Or like my friend, I have a friend of mine who, like, God bless him, he thought that this girl on Facebook was in love with him, and it's like, you're looking at it and he's like, yeah, no, she lives here in California. And you're like, she lives in California? And you look at the pictures that this lady's sending him, and you're like, mate, listen, they don't build houses with those kind of power outlets in the United States. They don't build those. That my friend, those plugins are definitely from Russia or Eastern Europe somewhere. He's like, what? No. I wish it was possible. So just twice. I love your sense of humor. Thanks. Also, you're doing a good job. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I got him to kind of see through it finally. He asked her the right questions, and then she ghosted him. And it sucks, because it's like, man, you got to watch your homie get his heart broke. You know, but then again, you know, you never know what this person's going to do. I mean, I would say lady, but we don't even know that it's a lady. It could be some guy who stole this person's photo, and now he's impersonating a woman on the internet to try and take your money. You know, I understand when, you know, you're in your 50s and you're lonely. I get it, like I do, but like I definitely don't want my friend getting taken for a ride. That's ridiculous. But shoot, he wasn't the only one. There was that guy. What was that guy who was in the government here in the U.S.? And he was taking pictures of like the big board in the Situation Room at NORAD, the nuclear thing. and sending them to some Russian. My secret special spy, love. And like, oh my lord. Really falling for that, my guy? Like, how did you get a security clearance? For real. I don't know. I don't know. It's a wide, wide world. People should, and wild one. People should sell tickets. I'd buy one. Beardsley says, I learned early in life to notice scams. RuneScape taught me real life lessons. Oh my god. Oh, I bet you there's a story there. I bet you there's a story there. Story. I didn't play much RuneScape. By the time RuneScape was out, I was working my butt off in the kitchens. I might have been a little bit of a workaholic in my younger days. Goodness. So much hair. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in there. Let's see. Where's that crazy? There it is. That's why I keep this old funky brush. This thing's all sorts of crazy funky. Get in there, get in there, get in there, get in there. Careful, 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 careful. Don't breathe on it, don't break. Who knew a lion had hair? I mean, right? Like, I don't know. To be honest, it was ghost hair when I saw it in the video. It is not ghostly when you have it in a 3D format. Holy Moses. Okay, we're almost there. Right there. I'll pull out the even smaller dry brush one I made myself. That's some crazy crevices right there. People won't double your money. They'll steal your armor if you give it to them to trim. Don't follow dudes into the wilderness with your expensive gear on. Holy mackerel. Yeah, don't follow dudes into the woods like ever. That seems to be like a bad idea in general. Always and forever, no matter what it is, a video game or in real life. Following people you don't know into the woods. Bad idea. Akari, do you stream every... So, hold on, wait a minute. Back up. Sure, just said, don't click on tiny URL links on YouTube videos saying you give away gold. It's a phishing link. Yeah, my God. And then Hikari says, do you stream every day? I stream every weekday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So like we got today's stream and then tomorrow. And then I take off the weekends to hang out with my kiddos and my lovely wife and my family and stuff. And take care of more stuff around the house and, you know, that sort of stuff. But yeah, we're here every weekday. That's a good way to help me lead into that. Thank you. Every weekday from 10 to 11 Central Standard Time in the U.S. And that would be like 9 at night where Hikari is. But yeah, we're almost every day. Of course I have days where I'm not feeling well or you know something happens. But I usually post about whether or not I'm gonna make it. Yeah, but I'm here every day for the most part. This is episode 100 and was it 41 or something like that? It's but it's a blast. I love it. So yeah, come by and join us. Probably be signing off here pretty soon. I think I've almost got this main done, which is amazing. I can't believe I got it all done today. Let's see. Now, Rasmus says, you will be temporarily putting Serosh onto Godfrey at the end of this stream to show how far you come. Heck yeah, I will. I will definitely show it here in just a second. About done getting all this first layer on, which is super important. But yeah, I definitely like putting him on at the end and getting a look. This side right here. Rasmus says, I'd love to see you doing a time lapse of how the many looked at the end of every stream. Would be fun. If you release a short with the ends of all the streams, that'd be kind of fun. That's a good idea. That's a real good idea. I loaded a kind of semi work in progress, but I'd like to do like yeah, I'd like to do more like maybe pull all the videos and edit them down to a couple of streams. That'd be neat. That's a good idea. Thank you, sir. Almost out of paint too. It's always a good time to stop. And you can see even with just this first coat, that dark underneath is really helping get that separation out, and it really looks great. And that's what we're trying to do. And we'll get down here to his, I mean, it's not really a butt. I don't know, it's very strange. I feel like streams with not as many viewers can be better because the streamer can answer everyone. Yeah, if it gets going too fast, it's hard to answer everybody. That is for sure. You get to where you have to do like the super chats and stuff like that. So I kind of like it being chill like this. I think if I get too far up, I might have to have somebody read them off to me as I go, so I can keep up, because I do love being part of the conversation, and I love doing all the chatting. To me, it's part of what makes the community so much fun, is being able to talk to everybody. So, all right, we're gonna shut this down for today. Ooh, I'll smack his head if I'm being not careful. All right, bring him in. He's so stinking big. Okay. This on this side. Stay. There we go. All right. Until we get him locked in, that's what it would look like. Oh my gosh, he's so flippin' big. Yeah. Let's see. Rasmus says, yes, there is awkward midpoint between answers everyone and answers like no one in streamer size. And then he's about to sign out. He says, I'm a fan of I'm a big watcher of smaller streams. Yeah, I don't get a whole lot of time to watch streams. But I do enjoy them. Pull Steel Vision back. There we go. Here we go. This might even be a better look to look at this side. Oh gosh, he's so huge, so big. I'm really glad we put that bit down there. That's really going to help sell the back of this model. Let's see. Well. Hello, welcome, and thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, he's so big. We still got a lot. We still got a lot of work to do here to get this lion up to snuff. But we're pretty close. We'll be back tomorrow to knock out some more. I think if we're lucky, we should be able to get onto having at least most of Serosh done, and then we'll be able to. I gotta get we're missing one arm part to his bottom arms, so we've got the arms and the axe to do after we get the lion done, and then we'll have to do the base, and this one should be wrapped up, and then we'll be able to move on to the next piece. And I think like I said, the next one's Ronnie, which is the blue witch with the 4 arms. She's really, really neat. I'm excited about that one. I love blue. Akari says that is big. Yeah, it's pretty big. And Sir Beardley says Dad and the cat. Yeah, it definitely is Dad and the cat. Which is, I can't paint this one like Buttons. He looks a little bit more like my other cat Octavia, but Buttons definitely was that cat for me. For those of you who are bigger or more steady watchers of the show, you've seen Butt. He comes in all the time. And those of you who haven't, if you watch us back, for those of you who are newer, is what I mean to say. If you look back, you can definitely find things with Butt in it. It's not hard. We have a cat called Butt because he's a pest. And like at first, just like, man, this cat's a giant pain. But then he's like the funnest butthead ever. You're like, God. So you just fall in love with him. You're like, oh my gosh, okay, Butt, you can be my friend. I love you too. So anyway, we'll take one more look at him, and then we're gonna sign out of here. Thanks for everybody for coming by. I really, really appreciate all the conversation. I made some great new friends today. Old friends Rasmus and Sir Beardsley and Mr. Cunningham stopped by, which is great. And then we made a new friend in Hikari today, and well stopped by. So thanks for coming by. Hopefully you guys like the stream, and I know we got 1 subscriber, and hopefully we got a couple more. Like I said, if we get ourselves up to 250, we're gonna paint this old guy right here. I mean, he looks so small, like compared to the other thing. So you're like, this is a giant, but it's not really anymore. So but when I set this goal, I didn't have that statue, so it does seem like a little puny. But I think we're gonna do like a big custom base for this, because like I said, we're gonna try and do this up to like Golden Demon standards and see if I'm that good again yet. I was pretty close when I quit painting to become a chef, but now I'm back onto painting. Maybe we can get that good at it again. That's my idea. So Hikari says they'll be back tomorrow. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Let's see. Said the scriber thing. I said the thank you all so much. I mentioned the folks that said hello, that chatted. I think I did it all. I did all the things. I did the things right this time. Yay for me. So awesome. Well, we're gonna sign up out of here, and I'm gonna get some things done on this statue. We're gonna hopefully do little videos for that, and we'll have something else for you guys to look at, what we do here around the studio, because we do more than just painting miniatures and statues. I do all sorts of different stuff. So awesome. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and we're going to talk to you later. Bye.